Let me tell y'all something. Those of you who are married or who are desiring to be married, marriage is not hard. I know. That's an epiphany a lot of you all need to hear and need to know. It's only hard when you have two people that are walking together and are not in agreement with each other. I'm on my second marriage, so I know the hard struggle of marriage. And yeah, that ain't it. That ain't it. Marriage is not about trying to manipulate, control, and get and try to change people. That's not what marriage should be about. I know that's what people think it's about. People think that they need to manipulate their husband, manipulate their wives, or control them, or wanting them to be different than they are. See, when you truly walk in your self-confidence, truly are secure with who you are, that person, whomever it is going to accept you as you. It's when you come into a situation, a situationship, as some people like to call it, and you start trying to change folks. You don't accept people as they are. You looking at potential and what they can potentially be. No, been there, done that, tried that. It doesn't really work. I'm not saying that some people ain't successful with it. I know people been married 40, 50 years and they struggled through it. No, I don't want that life that I'm struggling through. I know that's something we love. We love to struggle for whatever reason. We're like a badge of honor. But when you truly love someone, you love them as they are. You don't start nitpicking and nagging about stuff that really ain't got nothing to do with you. Really does not concern you. Because when you know who you are and that you are a great man or woman and what you bring to the table, you know that you are also going to attract that same energy to you. Unless you don't know it. Unless you lack confidence. Unless you lack, the knowingness of who you are. And so then, yeah, you're going to get exactly what you believe you can have. And if you don't believe that a good man or woman is going to come into your experience and enhance and elevate without you trying to create a Build-A-Bear type of marriage, a Build-A-Bear type of person, like, if I could just get them to do this, if I could just get them to do that, if they could just be like this, then that sounds like you don't like the person that you are marrying or that you are with. Sound like you don't really appreciate their individuality, their uniqueness. It sounds like you want somebody to be just like you. I'm not looking to marry me. I was looking to marry a good man. See, my husband, he's chivalrous. And I didn't have to say, I need my husband to be able to open up doors for me and to do this for me and to do that for me. I didn't have to make a laundry list of the do's and don'ts of our relationship. Before I even got into the relationship with my husband, I did have like 5 non-negotiables. I can't really remember them all, so those couldn't have been that important. The only one that does stick out at the time was he couldn't smoke. Because see, I wasn't trying to change nobody. You had to already be that person. You already had to be a person that did not smoke. And interestingly enough, my husband was a smoker prior to the time of me meeting him. Imagine that. But by the time we had met, he had let that go. So you see, I didn't have to change him. He came already like that. He came already full of chivalry. He came already wanting a family and wanting to do family things. And I didn't have to try to get him to do things for me. He just has a heart of gold and have always wanted to do those things. I didn't have to try to play Jedi mind tricks, try to manipulate him, tell him this is going on when actually that's going on. No, none of that. No game playing. I mean, I know y'all think that you're supposed to play games with a significant other to try to get them to be a certain way. I ain't got time. Those tricks and giggles off of somebody else. But hey, do whatever works for you, whatever floats your boat. I'm just here to tell you that marriage isn't hard. It's not hard at all. It's only hard because that's your perception of it. Because people have been telling us down through the years of how, they struggled through, and we just assume that's how it has to be because of those that came before, or maybe we saw our parents or our grandparents, decide to stay in relationships that they weren't that real happy in, right? That they were a little bit miserable in. That, you're hearing celebrities say, oh, 10 years of my marriage, I can't believe I stayed because for 10 years I was unhappy. I was a miserable person. And then want to blame the other person for being miserable. No, you were miserable because of you. But you want to say it was because of the other person because you don't want to take accountability and responsibility for your happiness. Here's the T. Ain't nobody else responsible for your happiness. And that's the problem. People get married thinking that the other person is responsible to make them happy. Sorry to tell you, newsflash, this is a paradigm shift for you. Make you happy. When you happy, the world around you reflects your happiness. When you're miserable, the world around you reflects how miserable you are. What's that saying? Misery loves company. Well, so does happiness. Happiness loves company too. Happiness loves company too. So, you can have a happy life. It can be happy people, happy life. Happy husband, happy wife. Happy wife, happy husband. It just ain't all about you. When actually, it is all about you. It's all about how you feel. You feeling good and not expecting the other person to have to lift you up and carry the load and carry your burdens and make you feel good. Make yourself feel good. Do the inner work on your own. Do what's necessary for yourself to feel whole and complete and loved. And then that person can't help but reflect that back to you. I'm telling you. How do I know? Because I do it. I experience it. I am experiencing it. My husband and I will be married. Well, it's been 9 years this year. So next year in January, it will be 10 years. And it ain't been hard. It's been real easy. We've maybe had in 10 years had one real good, disagreement. Other than that, smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. Hey, telling you. Life in general does not have to be hard. We just make it difficult for no reason at all. Just because we've been told that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Life should be easy, and so should marriage.